Hello everyone and welcome back. I realized immediately after filming the last episode that I had absolutely nowhere to train the otters, so I did have to do a bit of fiddling and it looks really horrible right now and I'll have to clean it up. I had to build a training area just before, where the show is, in the little area where there's a transition between the show area and the enclosure. So that's done now. I have somewhere I can train them, which is pretty handy. We did need that. Here we go. Phew. So that's done now. So this episode I said I was going to look at our zoo fame and look at improving on that so we can do a little bit more with our zoo. We need half a star more to be able to actually get the otters. So I was actually wondering if there was any species. What kind of bird are you? Southern black horehound. Are you a little bird? Are you a teeny weeny bird? You are, because I was going to make this, all along this was going to be a bird area, and then I decided to make it a European area instead. But I'm wondering if it would actually just be better off if we just went back to the bird roots, or if I should stick to the European area. At any rate, because this cool hunt is obviously, it's a African bird. It's right from the very southern tip of South Africa. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Korhan? I don't know, but it's a teeny bird. So let's have a look. It's a type of crane. Are they a water bird? Scrub and marshlands. I mean, we have this other kind of crane, this blue crane. It's obviously a water bird, so I'd feel quite bad placing it in this little enclosed area. But we could always put a pond in there. And the foxes don't really like it, so it's worth looking into. I mean, a blue crane, they're from the very southern tip of South Africa as well, so maybe we could make this like a little marshland type thing. And we could have the Korhan and the blue crane in there. People don't really seem to be interested in looking at the red foxes anyway, so I think it's time we said goodbye to our foxes. We released them into the wild. They have been rehabilitated. I just think this would be so much better as a bird area to begin with. We don't have to separate this enclosure out. Like, there's no need for us to do that. Let's zoom right in so we can see the babies as well. They're going with the babies. We're releasing the whole family together. So they are all released now. Sellable. So what we are going to do now is make this into a little like marshland enclosure. Yeah, no one was even like looking at them from the looks of it. Like, no one really came over here. Everyone sort of, well, there doesn't seem to be anyone here at the moment, but people usually seem to hang out. They would look at the Eurasian cranes and then they would like move on and not even look at the red foxes. So this should work a bit better. People are still quite interested in the beluga whales. It was like the rockhopper penguins people weren't so interested in. We've already got a couple of donations for the bottlenose dolphins now, so I'm actually thinking maybe we do need to replace this entirely. We might have to knock down the whole enclosure. We have to keep this though because of the way the ground is. So let's have a look. We will finish the European otter enclosure when we have the European otters, which should hopefully, fingers crossed, with this new marshland that we're going to build be very soon. So let's knock down these plants. Bye bye plants. We'll keep the little rain tree though, because they are needed for the outside area. So let's have a look. We have our Quran, Mediterranean scrub, temperate grassland. So I'm wondering if I should just stick with with temperate grassland for... We don't actually have a Mediterranean forest, so I think I should just stick to grassland then. That's pretty much my option. And we're gonna put shallow water pools all around. With just little pockets of water. For our birds to sit in. If it would be the right kind of water, that would really help. And we have to do a bit of smoothing here as well. I'll cover that up with a rope. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's beautiful now. Maybe not. Maybe not those kind of rocks. We'll think something. We'll put something there. And it's because those were the Mediterranean scrub rocks rather than grassland rocks, which might look a bit better. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. So I'm just gonna decorate this up to make it look nice and interesting. Obviously, we're gonna want to look into all of the fruit feeders, having all of the right enrichment. I don't know what kind of enrichment these birds will have, since they're both water birds. I mean, they have the elevated nest box to sit in, and the lookout post as well. Which I don't know if it's worth having really, because I think I don't know if these are the kind of birds that would really sit and look out, since they're water birds. See how it looks so far. Well, I think that looks quite nice with all the different pools. I kind of want to have a high rock and have like a waterfall coming out of it. I think that would look really nice. It's just making sure it's not so super high that it's like coming through the yeah, that's gonna come through. That's gonna come through a little. Oh no, it won't. It looks like that's fine. Okay. So let's place that in. And that is fine. Phew. Little trees down. I just think a waterfall would look quite nice in a water-themed enclosure. And obviously waterfalls, in zoos, they usually function as a filter, so the water like pumps through, like there's a little pump somewhere in it, takes the water out, filters it, and then flows it back out. And it keeps the water running nice, which is what you want, definitely what you want. It's hunting everything down as well, because it's right where the fountains are, I believe, but I can't seem to find those. There they are, there they are. I want a high one. Yes, yes I do. Well, that's gonna mess that up a little bit. So we'll play around with that just to make that look a bit... What's going on here? This rock's floating. What it's done, I think it's flattened everything out a bit. Yeah, it has. It's kind of messed with the terrain in places. So the trees don't... Come here, rock. It should make everything look a bit nicer there. Oh dear, we've had an accident. That's kind of messed with my fences. So I might have to replace him. That's annoying. We're gonna have to replace them with a tank wall, I think. So that's the easiest way to fix that problem. So that does this, that's still fine. And then I'll do this. I'm gonna pull it all the way up just for now because that's gonna frick up that. Okay. And then how I can fix the issue with the walls there is going to elevation path menu, dum-de-dum. Pick up this and pretend nothing ever happened. Did it really mess with it the other side as well? It sucks. It's really annoying. So we're gonna have to have a look at our Eurasian jay enclosure as well, just to make sure it hasn't messed it up too. It doesn't look too bad. That looks like it's just kind of gone down there a bit, which isn't the worst thing ever. And it doesn't look like super messed up there, apart from the fact that there's like a hole in the fence. Yeah, that could have worked out a lot worse. And I think the waterfall kind of makes it as well. I think that was really necessary, so I'll excuse it for the trouble it's causing me. Alright, so now all we need is to make sure— oh, it's still on a fur seal. That's not right. That's not what's going in here. Alright, so let's put down toys. Any grass? Okay, I'll have to do a bit of reading on these birds. They seem quite interesting. Which there's some water down as well. And our blue cranes, which also eat grass. That's handy. So let's see. So our blue cranes. And there's the coral. For some reason, I cannot place a water bird in water. Well, they're not necessarily water birds, but cranes usually, typically, they are. But I'll just have to, maybe I'll just have to check. Maybe I'm not quite right there, but that looks quite nice in there, all these different birds. Could still use with maybe a little bit more decorations, especially to hide that kind of dip there. So let's do that. Let's put some stuff in that dip. Also, our bottlenose dolphin that we borrowed is gone now. She's off to perform. Maybe we could say we had her— she was rescued from the performance, whatever she was doing, because it doesn't sound very humane to me. It doesn't sound very ethical to be shipping a dolphin between zoos like that. But so yeah, maybe we could say she was rescued and she was here on like a temporary stay while they found a nice new home for her, and now she's off to her new happy life. I don't know anything about bottlenose dolphins being rewilded successfully, to be honest. As far as I'm aware, cetaceans are actually quite difficult to rehabilitate. There was that one, like the Free Willy killer whale. The Free Willy killer whale was released into the wild and it wasn't very successful. It's just such a difficult thing to have an animal that's lived its whole life in captivity. I don't actually know if I can't remember his name, if that killer whale was ever originally a killer whale or if he was rescued as a baby, but like you can't, because most of the killer whales that are in captivity that were from the wild, I think Lolita is still in captivity, and she was taken from the wild as a baby. And you just can't ever guarantee that they would ever be able to integrate into a wild group of killer whales. You know, killer whales have like dialects, like they have— it's essentially that they have their own kind of like language, you could say. Probably like on the range of maybe someone's, like, if you put two killer whales from a different pod in this, like different, like different ecotypes of killer whales, so like a southern resident killer whale and a killer whale from like the oceans of Norway in the same tank, it's like putting someone who only speaks English in a room with someone that only speaks like Chinese, like Mandarin, and expecting them to be able to communicate with each other efficiently. It's just like, it's really difficult to integrate killer whales into pods that they aren't like natively from. I'm just wandering around blindly. I completely forgot what my aim was there. Now I'm hopeful that now we have this new enclosure here. Maybe guests can't even see into it, I don't know. Because that's why everyone seems to be standing there, is that they can't see into the enclosure here. I'm not sure. Because it's a shame if they can't. I don't want to build a jeep. Don't make me do it. I wonder what's happening here. Why guests can't see from here into here. Is it the fence? If I put a path there, will they be able to see into it? No? I wonder if it's maybe the fact that it's like if I replace this with a different fence, with like just a random glass fence. Yeah, it's these fences. These aviary fences aren't like, they can't see through them. Okay, so let's remedy that, because that seems like a pretty big oversight if you know, design-wise, if people can't actually see into the enclosure. So I'm gonna get rid of that again. Ah! Let's not do that. Let's not release all our birds into the zoo. It'd be quite difficult to get them back. And let's... I believe there's a tank wall that resembles like a chain link fence. Yep, it's a chain link tank wall there. And I'm gonna see if maybe that is any easier for guests to look through. No? If anything, that's messed it up more, because guests don't seem to be able to... Well, they still can, obviously, because they're looking. Well, now they're scratching their head like, we can't see anything. Yeah, I think maybe what I need to do is have this, like, viewing area come up a lot closer. Because I think the problem is that they can't come up close. And that is making it difficult to see. So, for example... do this. I will sort it out in this last enclosure as well. And we have a sand path come up right to the front. If maybe that makes it so guests can come right up to the enclosure and see. Yeah! Okay, that fixed it. That fixed it big time. What that also means is I can do this and make this like thoroughfare a bit wider. Or throughfare, however you pronounce it. To help if I knew. I don't have 3 endangered species. We'll probably be able to do the Endangered Species Alliance challenge soon. Basically what they want is photos of 3 different endangered species to prove that we can look after them. But we don't have 3 different endangered species. I don't even think we have 1 at this point in time. Okay. So I think that has significantly improved the visibility of not just our Eurasian jays, but also our new enclosure with our cranes and our korhans. I think I'm gonna have to keep an eye on their breeding because I believe these guys breed pretty fast. Yeah, they're looking. Okay, so that's really helped us out. So with any luck, that's gonna boost some happiness. That's boosted our number of animals, fame, our number of species a little bit because we replaced one species with 2. I don't know if it's increased educational, entertaining animals at all, but we'll have a look. And our release to the wild fame has increased just a little bit to where we released our foxes. So that's handy dandy. We still haven't got to 3 stars. We are probably a little bit closer than we were before. I'm gonna clean up the penguin enclosure because they're complaining. There we go. Oh, they're like getting sick? Yeah, I'm really hopeful we can get the tank filter soon because we can't have our penguins getting sick. There's a lot going on in this tank. We've got all kinds of fish. We've got a little crab walking around. We've got 3 even little crabs wandering around. Maybe even more. Yeah, there's more wandering around. There's 4 crabs. 4 crabs. And a couple of shoals of fish. So there. Oh, and a little fishy there. It makes me want to play Mech Aquarium again. It makes me just want to dive in and start playing Mech Aquarium. Got little baby penguins! Little baby rockhopper penguins. It's a shame they're not as popular as... I think they're actually less popular than the emperors were. But I don't know, I guess the emperors were here a bit longer and the rockhopper penguins are new. Yeah, belugas are still the most popular. But now our blue cranes are getting donations. That's quite handy. Our new enclosure is getting donations. And I still haven't put Arvos back in what I am going to because I want more birds. I need more birds. New guy, they would go quite well. It's me thinking what would go well with an okapi. I think we're gonna end up having like a big rainforest open enclosure rather than an Africa one, which would be interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that in real life or not. Like a big open, I suppose because savanna animals, they're gonna wander around like on an open plain. But tropical rainforest animals are a bit more confined to hiding behind trees. So maybe that would even be a good way of incorporating a jeep tour into our zoo. If instead of having a big Africa enclosure up here, like I was originally planning, we could have a big rainforest. So there's going to be like a couple of viewing areas to look into it, but also a jeep tour that goes through like the heart of it, so you can go through the trees. That actually sounds a lot better. I quite like that idea. Like maybe the jeep tour doesn't necessarily go inside the enclosure. Hello. Stress Management Associates is a consulting firm that specializes in stress level reduction. The company just started working with zoos and would like your zoo to help the firm demonstrate stress management techniques. So they want us to run our zoo for 2 months without total. I think I can get away with that. I don't think people generally... Okay, maybe they do. Worried about that because I've got quite a lot of benches, but maybe I can just place a few more. And our birds are getting thirsty. Hold on. Can they reach the water, or is just no one filling up their water dish? Or maybe I should just place down another one? Like, put it there? It's a bit easier to reach then. So I'm actually going to wrap it up there because I've just realised how long I've been recording for. I'm not sure what I'll do next episode. Maybe I should work on that because I can place that down quite soon. And like, we're getting a little low on money. We've got nearly half the amount of money we started with. I started with $500,000 and we are now down to just under 300. So we do want to work on things that are going to make us lots of money, like a jeep tour would. So I'm thinking maybe that's a good idea. We have a big open rainforest enclosure taking up this kind of area here. And we have a jeep tour that kind of runs behind it, but we have like all the feeding stations there, so the animals are there quite a lot. And we can make it like jungle themed. I think that would be quite nice. We could have this jeep station right here, so it's really accessible. but you could also go around the front of it and look into the enclosure, and we could have our reptile house we were going to build there, and then another enclosure here. Oh, this map is— I didn't realize how small medium maps were. We've just already taken up so much space. And we've already got so many ideas. But yeah, that's gonna be a good idea, I think. Because I've already decided I think we need to replace this with something anyway. I don't know about the belugas yet. I mean, we know we're gonna build a staff area here and stuff. But I will wrap it up there, and I'll see you guys next time when we work a little bit more on boosting our zoo fame. Maybe working on building that tropical rainforest jeep tour. Or maybe even a boat tour. That would be cool. I don't think I have that though. I don't have it at the moment at least. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.